The newest god of destruction in Dragon Ball Hakai is about to be appointed in one of the remaining universes, and the decision comes down to either Goku or Vegeta. In the last episode, Goku and Vegeta have been summoned along with Beerus and Whis to the Omni King's palace for a termination meeting where a current god of destruction will be replaced with a new one, and Whis explains that if Goku and Vegeta are being asked to appear as well, then one of them will likely be appointed as the new destroyer. As we get to Zeno's palace in chapter 2 here, all of the gods, angels, and Kais are already here, with the last ones to arrive being the Universe 7 crew. Vegeta, Beerus, Shin, and Whis immediately bow to Zeno out of respect, but of course Goku just sees this as a casual meeting with good friends, being just as happy to see the two Zeno as they are to see him and asking how they've been. The other gods pretty much just look at him like he's stupid, but even Goku can recognize at this point that they also don't seem too happy to see them either, saying to Vegeta that he thinks these guys might be mad at them. Of course they are, idiot, Vegeta replies, especially you and Lord Beerus, so shut your mouth and try not to make things worse. Both of you fools shut up, this is no time to talk, Beerus cuts in. And Goku, get down on one knee this instant before I force you. So when Goku finally kneels, the Grand Priest announces that their conference will now begin. Please, only the candidates and their mentors remain in the center. So this is when he transports Beerus, Whis, and the rest of them to the center of the room. He continues saying that he believes the angels have already alerted their respective gods on the reason for this meeting. This is a termination announcement. A god of destruction will be removed from his position and a replacement will be chosen, the Grand Priest goes on. The mortals chosen as the best candidates to assume the position are present, Son Goku and Vegeta the Fourth. Hey, Goku interrupts. I mean, your graceful sir, why were just Vegeta and me chosen? Aren't there other people like way more capable, mainly from other universes like Toppo or Jiren? A fair question, Goku, the Grand Priest replies. It just so happens that you two are the only mortals currently undergoing training from an angel. That's a very important prerequisite to become a god of destruction. As powerful as Jiren is, he's been trained by neither a god or angel. As for Mr. Toppo, he is already being prepared to replace the destroyer of his own universe, Lord Belmod. Yikes, how complicated, Goku admits. To be honest, Vegeta interjects, I have no desire to become a god of destruction, but I will accept without resistance if it is the only way to continue my training with Whis. I'm very pleased to hear that, the Grand Priest replies. Whis, please inform Grand Zeno along with the gods and angels present here of your disciples' qualifications to even hold this position. Speaking first of Goku, Whis begins. In addition to being a very powerful warrior, he's been able to reach heights of Ultra Instinct that even destroyers of this generation cannot surpass. Unfortunately, this is where the benefits of selecting him cease. He's quite carefree and disconnected from the present, and while he is kind, his generosity often borders the line of stupidity. Kinda harsh, which Goku takes note of as well, but as honest as it gets too. Vegeta, however, Whis continues, doesn't have the ability to tap into Ultra Instinct, but recently he's been training to master Hakai. His progress seems very promising. He too is a very powerful warrior, but unlike Goku, he acts with seriousness. He possesses the ferocity and ruthlessness necessary to carry out the work of a destroyer. A much better description briefing, if I'm being honest, and even Vegeta mentions that seems like he really is better than Goku. Based on the information given by Whis, who is the master of the candidates, all of the gods of destructions and angels will cast their vote. After that, Zeno will make his decision on who will be chosen to become the newest god of destruction. This is a little counterproductive if you ask me, if it's all gonna come down to Zeno anyway, but maybe they're just using this vote from all the other gods and angels as sort of like guidance for Zeno's decision at the end. After this announcement, the angels and destroyers held a secret vote on who would be chosen to become the newest god, and shortly after, the Grand Priest would become aware of who won the vote. All 12 gods and angels have now casted their votes, he announces, and with a unanimous result of 24-0, Vegeta is to become the newest destroyer. Honestly, this came as no surprise with how even Whis compared the two, and even beyond this, the fans themselves have been saying that Vegeta is a better fit to be a destroyer for years now. Although Goku comments that it's not like he wanted to be a god of destruction in the first place, but he also didn't want to lose like that either. So now, Grand Zeno, the Grand Priest continues, as recommended here by all the destroyers and angels, including Whis himself, master of both candidates, the best to assume the position of god of destruction is Vegeta. But the Omni Kings have something else in mind. This is when they both speak up simultaneously, saying that they choose Goku and want him to be the new god of destruction. This comes as a complete shock to everyone, even the Grand Priest himself, as Zeno completely disregarded the democracy and took matters into their own hands. But would I even be a good god of destruction, Goku asks? I don't really like killing people or destroying things. While the title itself may not suggest it, being a destroyer entails much more than simply destroying. With time, you'll see, the Grand Priest tells him. This doesn't make any sense, Vegeta says abruptly, feeling overshadowed yet again by Goku. What does Kakarot have that I don't? He was only chosen because he's friends with Lord Zeno. But Beerus cuts him off, saying that if he values his existence at all, he won't dare complete that sentence, so he pipes down. Doesn't look like I have much of a choice, do I? Goku says. So, what universe am I going to be sent off to? That brings us to the next point of our meeting. Of the 12 destroyers, only 4 of them have done a satisfactory job, of which include Gin of Universe 12, Liquor of Universe 8, Arak of Universe 5, and Iwan of Universe 1. All other gods, suffice to say, have been very negligent in their duties. As a result of their incompetence, 8 universes have undergone a good deal of decay. Some even disobeyed divine law and acted on their own without permission. This revelation sends a shock throughout the room, but there's one god of destruction that this is specifically speaking to more than others. After long reflection, it has been decided that the god of destruction who will be expelled from his post will be the destroyer of Universe 6, Champa. This casts an air of relief and brief sadness over the room, as well as Beerus maintains a stoic demeanor. Lord Champa, please make your way to the center of the room. Lord Fua, please join him, the Grand Priest says. In addition to your universe presenting a very low mortal level and demonstrating clear disregard for the functions which surround the title, the Lord in question left his territory and crossed into the 7th universe without permission in a selfish attempt to gather the Super Dragon Balls. Among others, it is because of wrongdoings like this, we have decided he is no longer fit to hold this position. I guess I should have expected this, Champa replies. But what happens next? What will become of me now? From this moment forward, you will be stripped of your divinity. Along with this, you shall no longer remain immortal and you will begin aging naturally, just as you did before becoming a god of destruction. You may also choose any planet of Universe 6 to spend the rest of your life on. I see. In that case, I wish to be left on the planet known as Earth, Champa admits. I tried to convince him to act diligently, Fua states, but he simply would never listen to me, even after explaining to him that this would be the result of his behavior. Kaioshin Fua, the Grand Priest continues, as your life is linked to that of your respective god of destruction, with the loss of his divinity, you will immediately perish. After, you will be sent to the supreme planet of your universe to carry on as a deceased deity. I understand, Fua responds. If such is my fate, so be it. Lord Zeno, do you wish to now proceed with the termination? All of a sudden, the two Zenos stand before Champa and begin stripping him of his divinity in front of everyone, which in turn causes Fua to become deceased as well, as we see a halo appear over his head now. The Grand Priest would then ask Vados to escort Champa back to Universe 6 as a final courtesy as his angel. Although this is a relatively somber moment, Vados can be seen putting on a little bit of a show, acting like she's sad she won't be working alongside Champa anymore, but clearly she isn't. So she takes Champa and Fua back to Universe 6. As things begin to wrap up here, the Grand Priest manifests his staff and states that now that Lord Champa has been duly removed from his post, all that remains is for the next god of destruction of Universe 6, Son Goku, to take over. Preparation for the ritual takes approximately 3 ticks to complete, so until then, everyone is dismissed. And just for context, 1 tick is relative to 8 Earth hours. Son Goku, in 24 hours Earth time, the Grand Priest continues, be on the planet of destruction of Universe 6. There, the ritual will take place. Until then, you are free to do as you will. This meeting has concluded. Once business is over with, Zeno wants to play with Goku, but seeing as how he's now been appointed to Universe 6, Goku lets them know that while he would love to play, he should probably go spend the next day with his friends and family and say his goodbyes to everyone. I mean, Bulma is probably going to want to throw a huge party with everybody there. Zeno tells him that that's okay, but since he's going to be immortal anyway, that means he'll be able to play for centuries. Goku reluctantly agrees and then leaves with Whis and the others back to Universe 7. Back at Capsule Corp, Chi-Chi and Goten are already there with Bulma and the others, as she says that they haven't even been gone for a week this time. And if Beerus and the Supreme Kai are here, then this must mean that Earth is in some type of danger or something. However, it's quite the opposite this time. Beerus speaks up saying that actually they've only come along to join in Goku's going away party. Chi-Chi of course asks, well, where exactly is Goku going? So Goku finally speaks up and tells everyone that he's been chosen to be the next god of destruction. So he's gonna have to go to another universe. When I tell you everyone is shocked to hear something this off the wall, it's an understatement, but Chi-Chi would literally faint after receiving this news that Goku is about to become the next god of destruction of another universe. So Bulma calls an emergency party at Capsule Corp. All of Goku's friends gathered to better understand exactly what was happening and bid their farewells. After a while, Chi-Chi finally comes to and Goku tries to explain to her that he doesn't even want this job. Everyone was certain that they would have picked Vegeta, but Zeno intervened and chose him instead. And you didn't just say no? Have you lost your mind, Bulma asks? But Goku tells her that it doesn't quite work like that. If he refused, then who knows what would have happened to their universe. At least now, Goku can finally work a job that suits him, Chi-Chi says. I think he'll like it a lot better than working in a field. I'm glad you're taking this well, Mom, Gohan says to her, but I don't know if I agree with that. The work of a destroyer seems pretty intense. I'm not sure if Dad can do such cruel things. I agree, Beerus chimes in. Goku is too stupid for the job. It would have been much better to have chosen Vegeta, but there's no way to argue with Lord Zeno. This is when Bulma brings up the fact that it just isn't in Goku's nature to do a job like this, destroying entire planets and killing so many people, saying that he's even spared Frieza like 6 times at this point. Yeah, I know, Goku responds, but the Grand Priest told me a destroyer's job was a lot more than just destroying things. Honestly, I plan to avoid killing as many people as possible. Does this mean you'll be working with the Supreme Kai? Gohan asks. Actually, I have no idea, Goku responds. When Lord Champa lost his divinity, the Kaioshin of his universe died, so does that mean I'll just be without one? Not necessarily, Shin begins. The life of a Supreme Kai is linked to the life of the god of destruction of their universe. From the moment Lord Champa lost his divinity and energy of destruction, it's as if his divine side perished. Because of that, Lord Fuwa in turn perished as a result. Your life too will be linked to a Kaioshin tomorrow at the ritual. So how is a Supreme Kai even chosen anyway, Goku asks. There are actually a few ways, but in this case, it'll probably involve the Kaiju tree of Universe 6. It's probably bloomed a new golden fruit. That's the best reason I can think of as to why they've chosen now to replace the Universe 6 destroyer. A Kaiju tree, you say? Vegeta asks. To which Shin explains that the Kaioshin and Kaio are all part of the Shinjin race. We were all born from the divine Kaiju tree. The common fruits of this tree give life to all Kaios. The golden fruits, which are much rarer, give life to Kaioshin like myself. I believe the Kaiju tree of Universe 6 has produced a new golden fruit, and the powers that be have approved the birth of a new Kaioshin, hence the appointment of a new Hakai Shin. This is when Goku asks that if they grow like apples, what happens if a rotten one is born? Shin would explain that when a common fruit is born rotten, it births a Makaio, and when the golden fruit is rotten, a Makaio Shin is born. In both cases, these corrupted entities are sent to the Makai world, also known as the Demon Realm. As a matter of fact, you've already met a Makaio Shin, he continues. Do you remember Deborah? He and I are merely 2 sides of the same coin. After dinner, Beerus lets them know that it's now time to go. This is when Goku begins saying his goodbyes, and Chi-Chi asks him if he'll be able to come visit. Until Goku has obtained basic knowledge of his new position and universe, not to mention getting a grasp of his new powers, he probably won't be able to return here, Whis explains. But that shouldn't take all too long. My sister is quite strict with her training, so I don't think a large amount of time will pass before Goku is able to come see you all. That is, of course, if Lord Beerus doesn't mind. Goten asks Goku if he thinks he can come with him and train, but Whis says that unfortunately that won't be possible, at least not right now. Mortals from one universe can't spend an extended amount of time in another universe, though under extreme circumstances, exceptions have been allowed in the past. So, Goku tells Goten that they'll make a deal. He tells Goten that when he gets back, he wants him to be as strong as he can possibly get so that they can train together, so Goten lets him know that it's a promise. And he also tells Gohan to make sure he looks after Chi-Chi and Goten as well while he's gone. Next, Goku would say his farewells to Krillin and Master Roshi, as well as Krillin tells him to never forget what it means to be an Earthling, and Roshi tells him to go show those gods the true power of the Turtle School, carry his teachings with pride. And finally, Vegeta would address it before leaving, saying that God or mortal, their rivalry isn't over yet, with Goku agreeing not for a single second. And with that, Goku heads back to Universe 6 with Whis, Beerus, and Shin to assume his new position as God of Destruction.